And hello, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Welcome to another setting of Edessa the Dark Crusade Season 2. Season 2, Season dos, whatever you want to call it. Where tonight, Margot, well, after having settled a time with, actually, maybe not. She maybe just did that, well, a while ago, her and Sovold agreed on, well, that they would teach each other certain disciplines. And so Margot, making her way to where she knows she can find her friend, um, she's going to the Roost in a very elegant dress again. And she'll knock on the door. Unless it is it. I've come a few times, but is this a place where you just walk in, or do you knock at the door, or
The door is closed, but it'll be open. Like as you get to the door, it'll be open for you by a young girl, probably about 18. She just lets you in. Seems to be her job to greet customers.
she'll smile? Thank you, my dear.
And when you walk in, you see it's quite a bit different to the last time you were here. It's been had a radical redecoration, and it's now very upmarket and beautiful. Um, it's quite opulent. It's not over the top, but it's definitely Memnon was working away for a few months, and he's put his crafts into it. So the building is beautifully decorated and plush, and lots of comfortable seats and gold and red cushions. And it's not busy because of the curfew, but there's a steady flow of customers. People sat round and drinking and talking with the girls. A girl you've seen a couple of times before called Rosie comes and offers you a drink. She's the barmaid.
Hmm. She'll smile. Thank you, Rosie. Right?
Yeah, she says yes, ma'am. Well, yes, my lady. Even
You don't need to call me my lady. My name is Margot. You know that.
she'll get you your drink, some high quality, really high quality wine, probably the best in the house. Um, and she say, "Are you here to enjoy our services, or are you here for another reason?"
See Master Thorvald,
She
if
smiles.
if he's around.
I'll fetch him for you. She goes and scurries upstairs, and a couple of minutes later, Thorvald will appear at the top of the stairs, where you see Rosie's pointing down towards Margot. Thorvald's not wearing his armor at the moment. He's just wearing like a normal shirt and breeches, and he's wiping his hands with a cloth. They seem to be covered in some sort of tar, or it looks like he's been stoking a fire or seeing to a fireplace. That sort of coal dust type. But won't be coal at this point. Sort of ash and that sort of thing.
She'll smile at him. Thorvald. Hmm. What are you wearing tonight? She'll smile.
Oh, my lady, I'm so sorry. I wasn't expecting you, or I would have dressed for the occasion. He gives a polite bow.
Nothing to worry about. And she'll look around. I like what you've done with the place. I like the change.
I felt that the place should be as beautiful as the women that occupied it. I commissioned Memnon. The work is his.
Very, very beautiful work indeed.
Is everything all right? Is there something I can do for you?
I came about our dealing.
He sits down.
Sure, sorry.
He just sort of sits down, raises a brow at her.
I think we could go with. I think shall say. I think the agreement we had seen upon earlier is agreeable.
He smiles. Where would you like to go?
Where is the best place to learn what I have to learn?
I'll fetch my horse. We can go for a stroll. He gets up and he'll go and grab a few bits from upstairs, and he'll ask her to follow him.
Yeah, she'll follow. She'll follow.
They go to the north side of the merchant district, and he sent a runner ahead to go and get his horse. And when it arrives, he will offer his hand out so that Margot can climb onto the horse, because it's etiquette that a lady will ride. So, you know, they're not equals. So he's just like, she's going to ride the horse, he's going to walk.
Well, sure. At that, she'll smile. If I knew we were going to the forest, then you weren't going to ride along. I would have told you I have my own horse.
Aye, but it'd be quicker to take mine if you do not object. He's a good horse.
And she'll nod. Oh well, understood then. And she'll get on the horse.
It's a large. You've seen it before. It's a large black stallion, Arabian stallion, and he'll walk alongside, heading out of the city towards the wilds. And he'll avoid the areas of the wilds that are the Gangor's domain and just take her into the main thicket of it. Probably to a clearing he knows well. Not too far into the woods. Far enough that they're away from eyes and ears, but not so far that it's really far from the town if they need to get back suddenly for some reason.
Okay, so yeah, she'll smile as she looks at the at the nature around her, the trees, the leaves. She's smiling. She seems to like being outside of the city.
He sets up a few lamps. He's brought lamps with him. It's dark. There's moonlight, but it's fairly dark. I'm going to have to be cautious. My sire is very displeased with me. She made it clear that she doesn't really want me talking to any Primogen at all.
Well, she didn't tell me that.
You've met with her then?
She'll say, no, shake her head. No, but I imagine if it was an urging matter, she would have told me that she didn't want her child to be anywhere near a Primogen. It was me that came to see you, remember?
She's worried that I'm going to make more social blunders.
You have made none to me.
I have a short temper I need to learn.
She'll shrug. So, I believe we are here to, I believe we are here for other reasons than to talk about your beautiful sire.
I still haven't gained permission to teach you anything, but I thought there's no harm bringing you to nature anyway, so that you may better understand.
And she'll nod. I've always liked nature. I sometimes wish I could spend more time in it.
Why don't you?
I'm busy these days being Primogen. I suppose I could sometimes just hold meetings out here.
Busy with Priscilla, you mean?
She'll smile. Well, that too. Please don't get jealous.
I'm not jealous, he chuckles. The woman doesn't like me. I fear it's probably her that's jealous of me.
And she'll think. Oh, look. And she'll look up on a branch. Where there's a bird there. A little bird.
He smiles.
So, one day, if you get permission to do what we agreed upon, I'll be able to talk to this bird. She'll look at him. Is that right?
Yes, and the fact that animals are easy around you will be a great benefit. Often the challenge in the first place is getting animals to trust you, as they are naturally afraid of our kind. So it's a good starting step. And you find that they will speak to you, but you often have to give them incentive to follow your commands. For example, like food usually works. Especially for small rodents like mice and rats.
So bring them food and the powers will be easier to control.
They'll do stuff for food. Most animals will. That's how you train horses. Food and discipline.
And she'll nod. But
sorry.
But with the powers of you people, and she'll think, animalism, I believe the name.
Mm-hmm.
With animalism, it's more than just giving orders, isn't it? What is it?
It lets you communicate. It lets you get their attention. Observe. Now I'm going to quickly make a roll.
What's the roll for?
Well, fuck all because I failed. Thorvald just sort of cast his eyes upward. He seems to be trying to get the birds to come to him, but they're reluctant at the moment. He crouches down on the ground. Perhaps they're wary because there's somebody else here. I'll try again in a moment.
She'll nod. And, actually, picking up She'll look in her dress where there's probably a pouch, a little bit of bread out, and going to try this with. Wait, let me make sure she has some animal can charisma. She'll take out some more of the bread, like kind of trying to make the bird come.
I actually need to check the roll for it. I forgot what the roll is.
Oh.
I think it's charisma animal ken, but I need to check for
I
errors.
mean, for this one, it isn't what I'm doing is without powers, so it's probably nowhere near as what you can, nowhere near as powerful as what you can do with animal can. You want to check again and throw the dice again? Or...
Yeah, I'm just checking the rules real quick. You can make your roll.
Okay. Oh, well, I have one success.
I expect with that you can get the bird to come down near to sort of inspect for seed.
It probably say with one success it probably doesn't like come on her, but it probably will come and eats warily, but still comes to eat.
Yeah, if you throw some on the ground, it'll probably come nearby and peck at it.
So yeah, it's still a bit wary looking at Margot, but it's happily eating the food she's giving. It's here now.
I'm gonna try again. I'm spending willpower now because I want to impress Margot. God damn it! Yay!
Hey, successes!
1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So Thorwald watches the bird, and he kneels down on the ground and he spreads his arms out, and he makes like a whistling sound. And as he does, you see that birds start appearing, and they flock down to the clearing all around you, and some land on his arms and on his hands.
You shall laugh. Oh my! How wonderful!
He holds his hand out for some of the seed that you've got.
Yeah, sure. Put it in there. Put some bread. Put some little pieces of bread in his hand.
He takes it and he offers it to the bird, and he looks at the bird that's on his hand, dead in the eye, and you don't hear anything out loud. But for a minute, for a couple of seconds, him and the bird seem to be speaking somehow. Like it's almost as if they're telepathically speaking. Rules state that if you have eye contact with the bird and you can get it sort of close to you and it is willing, then you don't need to make a roll to talk to it.
She'll smile. So what are you two talking about?
We were just remarking that we've never seen a woman this beautiful in the forest before.
She'll smile. Does the bird share your taste for beautiful women?
The bird says that you have two-legged beauty, but he's seen a female with red feathers that he finds quite appealing.
And she'll smile. Then let's hope that you get permission to teach me those powers. If you do, I'll talk to her.
He smiles. That's the thing about animal courtship. He says, let the bird go. And letting the others sort of peck at the bread. It's less about what you say, more about how you look. Animals tend to pick the biggest and the brightest. In males, it's the bigger, stronger males that get the females. Unfortunately, the little ones very rarely have a chance.
Poor little ones.
Aye. That is how nature is. Survival of the fittest.
Well, thank God I was not the male of. Again, then thank God I wasn't the male of an animal species.
With females, it's usually the one with the most beautiful plumage, and I think you would be safe with that.
And she'll nod. Well, maybe with that.
If we were animals, then I think more people would approve of our union. But as it is, we're at different social loggerheads.
Quite unfortunate. I wish. Well, you've heard me say it before. One day I will be in a world where slaves, masters, all these labels are no longer a thing.
I admire your idealism, my lady, but that will never be the case. Especially not in our society. It's hierarchical, that's the way it is. We all serve a master. Even the highest among us serves Cain himself.
And those highest, well, not sure if Cain follows him, but some people follow and shall look up the Lord.
Yes. I hold the Lord close to my heart. But I know that I am a sinner and damned.
Bend to what?
Being what I am, I will never go to heaven. I am a creature of darkness.
Shall nod. We are the children of darkness.
So I must enjoy my heavens on earth. And this is one of them. He indicates around to the forest.
Well, if we are already if we are already doomed, might as well make the most of it.
I like your clanmate. He what is it?
He what? Yes. I like her.
What was she doing the other day when she was staring at me and she went blind?
She'll smile. Something that might happen something that might happen to you, unfortunately, if you learn what you want to learn.
Or specs.
She'll nod.
Why was she trying to look at me with that?
Sure think. I think she was trying to detect if you were lying or not.
I'm not someone that lies readily.
But she didn't know that.
Sometimes I lie. But I had no reason to lie that night.
I'm sure she just wanted to make sure everything was safe and everyone was all right. We were in her domain after all. She was the host of the night.
I saw that you and Margot were, you and Madeline, sorry. Saw that you and Madeline were eager to make her charms. He smiles playfully.
She's a beautiful woman, and she's my clanmate. I want to be sure she's pleased here.
Do you go to bed with all the beautiful women in your clan?
Well, no, so far, as much as I enjoy flirting with Hiwat, I've only been with, well, my precious Priscilla. In my clan.
Thorwald tries his best not to scoff, but a bit of a scoff comes out.
Well, and Charles. But he's my
Charles
child.
I do like.
I'm glad you do. I do too. And she also chuckle. I wouldn't have embraced him if I didn't.
I can tell he's a man of honor.
Very much is. He's not like his ancestor who took the lands from my family. He is a man of honor. Someone that wouldn't betray the people that he is supposed to serve. The people that treat him with love, like my family treated with love his before they turned their back on us, and before they turned their back on us and stabbed us when we weren't looking, took our lands from us.
I've seen many sad things in my time. I've seen women of noble birth like yourself lose everything because they're considered the property of their husbands.
Ugh. I don't like that. We are women. We are people. We are not property. Nobody should ever be considered property. I might be a primogen, but I don't consider the members of my clan my property.
Many men and noble families wanted to have my sire lose her status when she was mortal. She almost became a beggar woman. She gave her husband no children. And by Roman law, they could absolve the marriage. Such things are not her fault. But she's an astute woman. She's intelligent. She managed to survive. I think I told you that she was designed to be a member of your clan.
You have.
I could have been a Toreador. He laughs.
What would I have done if you were a member of my clan? Would I be primogen if So, you see, what's the name of his sire?
Gaia.
Would I be Primogen if Gaia was a Tordor?
Probably. You've got more years in the city than she has.
I shall nod.
Though she has more years on you in experience.
I did not get the title of Primogen because of my years here. Some other members of my clan have been here longer than I have. Have gotten the title because I knew what to say, and because I promised that I would defend this city.
I'm glad you didn't have to run against her. I've seen her destroy plenty of people who got in her way.
I'm glad I didn't have to face her then.
I'm very sorry if she is rude to you when you meet. I hope that she won't be. Don't take it too personally.
You think she might be?
I'm not sure. She's usually gentler with women than she is men. She has no time for men.
I shall nod.
She was probably soured by them in her previous life. I don't blame her.
Judging from what you told me was Roman law, I understand.
I'm waiting to see whether she's going to meet my sister, her childer, at last. I'm surprised she hasn't asked the prince for a right to embrace yet.
She has another child in mind, a new one that she wants to embrace.
Lucretia was the intended childer. I was a mistake. Lucretia is a woman of exceptional beauty. But not much sense. She's been spoiled by my sire. My sire dotes on her. Like she is crystal or glass. She hasn't raised her to be a good gangrel. I fear that perhaps that is her love. But I'm sure she's educated her in all the ways of politics and socialism, so that she may be a good member of court. My sire wouldn't have skipped on that.
Maybe I'll get to meet her then.
I doubt it. She guards her very closely away from everyone. She's,
And in court?
I don't know. I scarcely see her. And I lived in the same household for 200 years. She probably won't release her until she's got the right to embrace and that she's a Canaanite. Therefore, then she can be secured that she is safe.
She's not allowed.
She's a ghoul.
Still, she isn't allowed to leave the house.
I don't know. I think not.
Poor ghoul.
When you're a ghoul, you don't mind.
That is true, she'll say with a smile. My sire taught me that women can be just as powerful as men, if not more, even when it comes to politics.
I would argue that the female of the species is more deadly than the male in all cases.
All cases.
Mm-hmm. In nature and in canites and in humans.
I shall think. We do tend to be, well, we may not have the muscles, but we are more flexible, quicker a lot of the time.
It's to do with the ability to disarm a man. Now, we're in the middle of these woods here. You could shove a stake in my heart.
I could. But why would I? I like you. Shall smile.
It's not how I felt the other day at the bathhouse.
Well,
He smirks.
shall smile. You made a mistake. I didn't want to hurt you. Your sir had already done that. Besides, I like your face. I find it quite pleasing and handsome.
I expect it was a pleasure to you then to see it crestfallen by your departure.
I shall smile. It sure caress his face, but at least I didn't give it any scratches.
Some scratches I don't mind.
Seems to me that you had a bit too many scratches when you came to the bathhouse the other night.
He lowers his eyes. I've had worse and survived.
Good. I like you surviving.
But I'm no good if I'm a lion without claws.
Shall smile at that.
That story you told.
I know. Maybe my clanmate was right. Clanmate was right. If you love someone, don't court their father.
Luckily, I can say that the women I have loved, their fathers have been dead. Often long so.
So no one to, and shall take his hand, take your claws away.
I'm not sure about that. She looks at her hand.
Well, I'm not going to take your claws away. I like them where they are.
Like I said, if you love the lion, you must love his claws too.
They are part of the line, as much as his eyes, as much as his paws, as much as his mane. If you take the claws away, he is less of the creature he was before.
I think you'll find that the more you come to understand animals, the more you come to understand people. We are just animals after all.
She looks like she was about to say something, and then stops when he says that. Took the words right out of my mouth. We are animals, just like them.
He looks at her for a few moments.
We just shall smile at him. We just build cities and had our own social construct, which is, well, I would say got out of hand. And we also made these as she'll like tuck to her dress, like clothes.
Pretty adornments, but not ultimately necessary.
Not out here. Not unless it gets very cold.
Lucky for us, we cannot feel the cold.
She'll nod. But humans do. We used to.
Sometimes I miss that feeling.
Of being cold.
Of being alive.
That is something that is quite sad to have lost indeed. We no longer need to put clothes on because we do not feel cold or hot. We do no longer need to sleep. Well, not as much as we used to. We don't need rest. We simply need to go to sleep every night so that we can await the sun to go and the moon to come back. We no longer need to eat. But that also means that we no longer get to taste what we tasted as human. Even those of us who have learned to eat, I have heard that it's not quite the same as eating when we were human. The taste is not quite there anymore.
I still feel things.
I shall smile. Things like what?
Anger, jealousy, lust, happiness.
Those two last ones I like.
Displeasure, sadness, loneliness, morose. All these things I still feel. Though I hear they fade with time.
Well, I still have some of these, but perhaps it is because I am a Toreador.
If I was still a Christian, I'd be going to my priest, confessing impure thoughts.
Then I'm glad you are no longer a Christian.
I am in my own way. A Christian that lives in a brothel.
Yes, I'm sure the people in the churches wouldn't agree to this.
To them I laugh. Jesus' best friends were whores and publicans and beggars. The Bible tells us it's true.
People like to choose what they remember. But you did say you still had lust. I shall smile. After all, I she'll look around. You do well. We are looking to be closer to nature here tonight.
Perhaps we should test your survival skills, Lady Primogen.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
See how well you can hide in the forest. See how well I can hunt you. He grins toothily.
She'll smile. And without a warning, she kind of goes off in the. She's careful not to in the gangrel area, but gangrel territory. But she'll just smiles and just bolts off.
The wilds is actually huge. It's like a huge area, so
Okay.
yeah, there's quite a bit where they could like run without infringing on anyone's domain. I think like the main edge of it is Erdin's domain, and he's not gonna say shit. So I'm just gonna make a roll real quick. I think we should both roll wit survival,
With survival to hide
or maybe like dex stealth or something like that.
dex stealth. Because my dex stealth is because thank you thanks to celerity, dex stealth is 9, and with I think with survival is a lot less.
If you're hiding, it'll be dex stealth. If you're just running and trying to like avoid him, it'll be wit survival.
Yeah, so for now, it's she's just trying to hide. She's most probably going to try and run and stuff like that afterwards, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
1, 2, 4. Just missed you by 1.
So he comes close. She does a moment where she thinks, "Oh shit, he's going to find me," but she doesn't.
I'm gonna roll perception alertness. He can't actually find you because you've got stupid amounts of fucking dex. Thorvald comes after you, but he can't find you initially. Like you see that he knows his way around. Like he gets 4 successes, so in his survival, so he tracks you for a bit. He knows what direction you've gone in, and he's quite close, but he can't see you because your dex is your stealth is too high.
But say she'll as he's looking, she'll drop something that he'll see something drop in front of him.
He looks.
It's a piece of silk, like something like a ribbon.
He kneels down, picks it up, and sniffs it.
Yeah, it's Margot's.
He smiles.
Up here. Here.
He looks up.
She's in the tree on a branch, and there's her dress is a little bit looser. It looks like something that was keeping it together kind of was taken off.
I say I wouldn't have to worry about you if you got lost in the forest.
I have learned to run, to hide a little bit. I may not find the best places to hide, but when I find that place, I get in it quickly.
I can teach you about survival. Should you ever find yourself in difficult situations?
say if I was being chased?
Hunted. How to hide in the forest, how to survive, how to build a place where you could sleep away from the sunlight.
Teach me. And then she'll run again, but that time he's just trying to not like outright get him not to like social with survival.
Okay. Teach me. I run away.
Teach me. She's got less dice for that, but oh, look at that. She's still got 2 successes.
I've got 7 dice for that because I'm amazing. I'm a gangrel. It's what we do best.
Sure, yeah. Oh,
1,
damn,
2,
that's a lot of.
That's 3 successes.
Oh.
He cuts you off this time. Like he knows where he seems to know where you're going. He runs like sort of around you, so that you end up running straight into him. Literally straight into him.
It seems.
He playfully grabs Margot, like just sort of like grabs her and picks her up and hoists her over his shoulder, as if like playfully, obviously, just like, and now to put you on the spit and cook you.
So I'm now to put you at what?
On the spit and cook you.
I shall smile. Maybe. Well, maybe you just put me down and we could have more fun.
He puts her down. He was obviously just joking, and like he starts to lower her down anyway, just to see her face, because he's just laughing and he's hoping that she's not going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, she will like playfully though flick his nose.
I suppose I should escort you back to society.
Maybe later.
Oh. He raises a brow.
I think I was slowed down by this, and she'll like gesture to her dress.
I see.
I think I'm quicker this way. As she lets it go. And should we go Camp Doc?
Yes. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And all that jazz.